The film opens inside an ordinary family home that has just become a crime scene. In a flashback, a woman is fighting to keep her young son Kenta away from her own husband. Her courage cost her everything. The man turns on her instead and kills her by driving a 5-inch nail into her eyes. Time jumps forward. A college student named Yuki leaves her apartment late at night and walks through streets that are far too quiet. She works part-time at a 24-hour convenience store, and when she arrives, she asks her coworker Takuya whether the store manager has finally answered him. Takuya says the manager is probably sick of both of them, or the store is about to be handed to somebody new. Then Takuya tells her that on his way in, he saw someone take their own life on the bridge she crosses every night. He says a customer came in afterward and described the body in detail, with legs bent in directions legs are not supposed to bend. None of it is true. Takuya just likes scaring her. He tells her to change quickly so he can go home, and Yuki settles in for another night shift alone. Across the city, a detective named Shinji is driving to a fresh case. He is a heavy smoker, and on the way he talks with his partner Kazuki about the child he and his wife keep hoping for and still do not have. When they pull up at the scene, it is the same convenience store where Yuki works. Shinji goes down into the basement and finds the body of Toshiro, the store manager, killed the same terrible way as the woman in the opening. Both of his eyes have been taken. There is no motive and no suspect. Then word comes that the witness who found the body has calmed down enough to talk, and that witness is Yuki. This is the convenience store. At the station, Yuki explains that she works 6 days a week to cover tuition and living costs and to send money home for her mother's medical treatment. Before she says she is ready to answer everything, she glances up at the clock on the wall. Shinji confirms the victim is Toshiro and that this is a murder investigation, then asks if she has noticed anything strange recently. Instead of answering, she hands over a memory card that arrived 4 days earlier. Then she starts telling him what happened, night by night. 4 days before the murder, the door sensor at the store kept chiming as if customers were walking in, except the doorway was empty every time. Takuya assumed the sensor was broken and said they should call a technician, but the security footage showed nobody passing through at all. He offered to stay until morning if she was frightened. She turned him down, and he went home. Later, when Yuki took the trash and the expired food out back, a homeless old man appeared and begged her for something to eat. She warned him the food had gone bad and was dangerous. He took it anyway. While that was happening, she noticed a car parked nearby, and the driver sat watching her before pulling away. Back inside, the door swung open on its own, and the alarm chimed over and over with no customer in sight. A short while later, a courier arrived with a package addressed to her. Inside, there was nothing but a memory card. She played it on one of the store devices and found a short clip of an old house wrapped in police tape. She tells Shinji the package arrived at exactly 4:30 in the morning. He is surprised she can pin the time down that precisely, and she says being that frightened burned it into her memory. Then she hands him 3 more memory cards, the ones that followed, one every single day. Still on that first night, a strange old woman walked into the store without a word and went straight to the toilet. When Yuki checked a few minutes later, the toilet was empty, but when she turned around, the old woman was standing between the shelves asking where Ken was, her beloved grandson. Yuki said she was alone in the store. The old woman snapped at her, insisted the building was her daughter's house, and walked out. Rattled, Yuki checked the cameras and saw a small child standing perfectly still outside. Assuming it was Ken, she went out to look. The child was already gone, and in his place was a package holding the second memory card. Shinji plays it. It shows blood spatter and a 5-inch nail. The following night, Yuki was startled when Takuya turned up in the stockroom. She lost her temper and accused him of sending the memory cards. He denied all of it and warned her instead that she might be the target of a stalker, since she worked the night shift alone so often. After he left, the air conditioning broke down. A technician named Hamada came to fix it and stepped outside to check the outdoor unit. While Yuki was moving boxes in the stockroom, the door locked from the outside and every light went out at once. The switch did nothing. The emergency exit would not budge. She screamed for help. Out of the dark, a shape rushed past her, impossibly fast. She heard Hamada shout somewhere outside the building, and then everything went silent. After that came a sound from the corner of the stockroom, something close to hysterical laughter. She followed it, found a trail of empty drink cans, and at the end of it she found the child, Ken. When she got close, he turned around and revealed the 5-inch nails scattered all around him, and then he was simply gone. A woman's figure came out of the darkness and Yuki ran. Just outside the stockroom door, she came face to face with a different woman, a stranger, who pushed a protective charm into her hands. The woman was struggling to breathe and hurried out of the store without explaining anything. Yuki checked the camera room and found that Hamada had disappeared completely. The door alarm started chiming again, and out on the shop floor she found a package holding the third memory card. On the third day before her shift, Yuki's mother called and warned her about working nights. The night shift paid more, and that money was going toward her mother's treatment. So Yuki lied and said she had the night off. The moment the call ended, her doorbell started ringing and would not stop. She looked through the peephole, and then she felt something standing directly behind her. The lights in her apartment cut out, and a glass fell and shattered. While she was cleaning up the pieces, the wooden floor groaned loudly. She made herself look under the bed, and a ghastly figure was lying there staring straight back at her. It vanished a moment later and left behind the fourth memory card. On the fourth night, Yuki assumed Takuya was messing with her again and walked the aisles looking for him. Then the power went out. When the lights came back, every product in the store had been replaced by rows of computer monitors, with 5-inch nails scattered across the floor. She ran for the exit, but every door in the building was sealed. All the screens switched on at once, and the ghost of the woman appeared and started walking toward her, slow and patient. Yuki backed away until there was nowhere left to go, and at the moment the ghost almost touched her, it disappeared. She checked the charm the stranger had given her. It had burned to a crisp. Then on one of the monitors, she saw Ken walking toward the basement through the back of the store. With nothing but a flashlight, she went down after him, and that is where she found Toshiro, already dead. The basement door locked itself behind her. Then Toshiro's hand moved and clamped around her arm. She screamed until she blacked out. When she came to, she got out and called the police. Back in the interview room, Yuki looks at the clock again. Shinji notices how closely she is tracking the time. He works out a theory that whoever killed Toshiro is also terrorizing the people connected to him, a chain of punishment moving from one person to the next, and he decides to wrap up the interview. But Yuki pushes him to play the last two memory cards, and eventually he gives in. The third card shows the brutal killing of the mother and child from the opening of the film. The fourth card shows footage of Yuki herself, filmed from a distance, as though someone has been watching her for a long time. Shinji promises her police protection. The next morning, Yuki walks out of the station and her mother's waiting for her. They hold each other and cry, and watching the reunion clearly gets to Shinji. That night, Kazuki reports that the videos on the cards are authentic. They are not staged and they are not clips pulled off the internet, which means there really is a string of murders behind them. Around the same time, Shinji's wife Kaho comes by with food and tells him she is pregnant. After waiting so long, he is overjoyed. He takes the case out to the station balcony. There is no physical evidence pointing at anyone. While he is smoking, the balcony door swings open and shuts by itself. He checks it, and there is nobody there. Next, he visits the courier company. The driver explains that the package had no sender information at all. It simply appeared inside the delivery truck, so they took it to the address written on it. The following night, the strange old woman turns up at the police station. While an officer is dealing with her, Shinji is shaken to find the boy Ken hiding under his desk. The old woman forces her way inside, shouting for her grandson, and Ken disappears. She rambles about a man who tried to take his own life after killing the two of them. That sends Shinji into the old case files, where he finds the Onodera family. A man named Onodera killed his son Kenta with a kitchen knife, then killed his wife by taking her eyes with a 5-inch nail. He recorded the whole thing across 4 separate videos. The photograph of the boy matches the child Shinji has been seeing. The next day, he replays everything. The first 3 cards show Onodera's crimes, but the 4th card is different now. This time, the footage shows Shinji himself, standing out on the station balcony, and the angle matches the doorway that opened by itself. That is enough to keep him at the office overnight, and the haunting starts there. The ghost of the woman comes for him inside the station, though he wakes up realizing it was a nightmare. In the morning, he goes back to sweep the convenience store again. He finds the 5-inch nails and the empty cans in the stockroom. When he opens the storage locker, Kenta is inside, surrounded by scattered nails. The ghost woman comes after him again, and while he is running, the stranger with the charms appears once more and holds one out to him. He shouts at her for being inside a restricted area. That is when it lands. Everything Yuki described was real, and now it is happening to him. He tells Kazuki to find her, but Yuki has already vanished from her apartment. Shinji goes to see Takuya, who was in the hospital after being found unconscious at the store. Takuya says that a few days before the manager died, he noticed a suspicious car parked outside. A woman inside asked him whether he had smelled anything foul or noticed anything strange in the building. He confirmed she was Toshiro's mistress, and that the two of them used to spend time together down in the basement. Takuya also admits that, on the night of the blackout, he never actually went home. He stayed to watch Hamada, the air conditioning technician, because he suspected the man was stalking Yuki. He beat Hamada with an iron bar until the technician ran off. Later, when he found Yuki unconscious behind the store, somebody hit him from behind, and it was the homeless old man. Then Takuya let slip that he had hidden a small camera on top of Yuki's locker to record what happened that night. Shinji rushes back to the store for that footage. The moment he steps inside, the doors lock and the power dies. The shop transforms again into that room of monitors and nails. The ghost woman moves toward him, and he forces his way into the stockroom and grabs Takuya's camera. And when he plays the recording, the real story finally comes apart. On the footage, the homeless old man and Yuki are working together, lifting Takuya's unconscious body into the locker. The old man asks her about the schedule, about when the memory card arrives. She tells him the card is always in her hands before 5 in the morning. The time on the recording is 1:30, which leaves them 3.5 hours. The old man tells her to watch the contents of the fourth card and copy it onto a new one. Then he explains what they are really dealing with. The land the store was built on was cursed by a mother whose beloved child was torn away from her. Anyone who watches the video on those cards is marked for death within 4 days. The only way to move the curse along is to copy the video and show it to somebody else. But the curse does not kill the person who watched it. It takes the life of the person that viewer loves most in the world. So the old man tells her to decide, before 5 in the morning, who she is going to sacrifice. And since Toshiro's body is already lying in the basement, he suggests she report it to the police and make the detective on the case her target. That is why Yuki kept checking the clock. That is why she pushed so hard for Shinji to sit through every last video during her interrogation. She was not crying because she had witnessed a murder. She was crying because she was terrified of losing her mother, the one person she loves most in the world. Shinji realizes the 4 days have already run out and that he is the one who watched the videos. His pregnant wife is in danger. He races home in a panic, and when he gets there, Kaho is safe and unharmed, because the curse went for the deepest wound it could find in him, and that was the baby who was going to be born. Months later, Yuki walks past the old convenience store, now shuttered and sealed. As she starts to leave, a 5-inch nail drops and rolls to a stop in front of her. She picks it up, and the memory of the night Toshiro died comes flooding back. Toshiro was down in the basement with his mistress, and the figure who came for him, the one who took his eyes with a 5-inch nail, was not a ghost and was not a stalker. It was Yuki. She killed him because she had worked out that her manager had passed the curse on to her. To save her mother's life, she staged his murder so the police would come, question her, and sit down to watch the cursed recordings. Toshiro's mistress escaped the building that night, which is exactly why she came back to ask Takuya about the smell and the strange things happening inside the store. So the moral of the story is, never watch a mysterious memory card, especially when the person showing it keeps checking the clock like your free trial is about to expire.